Nói tên cô đi cô.
My name is Nhi Lee. I come from Saigon in 1981.
And could you just say something?
My name is Antu Lu. I live in Northern Virginia, come from Saigon, arrived in the United States as a refugee in 1975.
Just check that's on. Okay.
My voice really carries though.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you do have. All right, come on, boys. Okay, and I'm just about ready to go.
So should we look at the camera or
Nope,
should
you're
we
gonna
just
talk
look
to
at David?
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be. So pay no attention to me. You'll be talking to David.
Okay.
Okay, I talk in Vietnamese. If you want me to talk to English, I have to prepare before, so I can.
No, you're fine.
It's
You're
okay.
fine right now.
But you told me the story about you leaving Vietnam in the restaurant. You told me in English.
Yes.
I understood perfectly. And
And it's fine, yeah.
and so let's try to do as much as we can in English.
Okay.
And it's okay if you need to speak Vietnamese. In fact, it's a good thing.
I wish I prepare before so I can.
No,
No,
we don't want you to prepare before.
Because
We want you to be
Yeah,
spontaneous.
yeah, that's right. So like you don't
Because
have.
you know what? I'm busy with the kids and with the community, and I love my language. So I don't have time to study English.
Well, you can explain that too, which is perfectly fine. You don't rush yourself. Just take the time and answer, and which part you feel comfortable in Vietnamese. You speak Vietnamese.
Many people watch this in the future, so we cannot do it like that.
But they are immigrants
I
as
can
well.
talk with
Yeah, and
No,
there's-
but with the 40 years in the United States, no excuse to.
Wait. There's a lot of people who've been here longer than you and still don't master the language. I can't claim to master the language either.
I think it's amazing that you speak English very well. And when I've tried to learn other languages, it's very, very difficult. And I've never had any trouble understanding what you're saying to me, ever. So it's going to be fine.
Okay, I try to.
You tell us when we're ready to go. And would you tell us where we are? Where are we sitting?
We are in the Vietnamese Communities Hindrance Center
In
Virginia.
In Northern
Is this in
Virginia.
Falls Church or in?
This is the city of Falls
This
Church.
is in Falls Church.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start out. Tell me a little bit about your childhood in Vietnam, and then during the war years, what was life like? Just a little sketch of your life in Vietnam before you left.
I was born in North Vietnam, and I lived in the Hanoi for 10 years. And after that, we came to Saigon after communists took over the North Vietnam.
And when you were a little girl, what was life like in Hanoi?
When I was a little girl, I lived with my mother and my sister and my brothers in Hanoi. And we know about communists before I left I know about communists before I left Hanoi, because sometime I went to the village, so I met them there, and I know them since then, when I was about 10 years old, 9 years old.
And then when you came to South Vietnam, life was better?
Oh, when I went to South Vietnam, the life was better. And we have good life for 20 years. under the Republic regime with Ngô Đình Diệm as a president.
And so then, but then war came.
And then the war came to my country, and the communists tried to
Feel free
Nothing
to
big.
talk in Vietnamese is okay.
okay, I'll talk with the
This is okay, Vietnamese.
I think in 1962, the communists start the war. And at that time, I was very young. I was 20 years old. But I was not enjoying my life as the young girl. But I always think about the war, and I follow up all the information on the news about the war. And when my friends go to party, go to dancing, I was not enjoying it. I think about the war. And in 1965, and the American troops start to come over to Vietnam. So the wars grow up. The war happened everywhere. So at that time, I think I very appreciate with the American troops to come to help us to against the communists. But many things happens in the country, and we cannot protect our country. And in 1975, we lost the country. And we have to ask, the communists took over the whole country. After 1975, my family is stuck in there. Even on the 1975, about March, we think the Saigon and in South will be fallen. We prepare for the whole family, the big family, about 40 people. We try to join with one family, have a big boat in Phu Quoc, and we try to go there and escape. But the communists come too fast, so we don't have enough time to escape at that time. We planned before the Saigon fall. We stay there. And the whole family say, okay, many million people, Vietnamese people can live with communists. We can too. But
That's what you thought.
no, my family thought.
Oh, your family.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't. I say, I don't think I let my children live with communists. Because I know too much about them. So I try to escape. By myself, with my 3 children. I prepared to escape since 1977, about 3 times, but it didn't work. didn't like it. Unfortunately, in 1978, I had to go to the hospital for surgery for cancer. So after that, I tried to go to hospital many times to get the treatment, like chemotherapy. I stopped about thinking. I stopped about planning to escape. But after that, in 1980, I feel like, okay, my situations may be much better, and I have to go to try to find a way to escape earlier before I die. Because I think the cancer patient only can live about 2 years or 5 years. I want to bring my children to go to another country. So on November 17, 1980, I leave my house, my home, with my 3 kids and go to the go to meet on November 19, 1980. One people asked me to meet them in the bus station. And when I took my children there with my nephew, 16 years old. My children, the girl is 10 years old. The boy is 9 years old. And the youngest girl is 5 years old. And I met the people there. They let me go to the bus and go to Hai Sơn, one province close by Vũng Tàu, close by the ocean, so we can escape. We lived 3 days in a small house, in a small village. We just stayed there to wait until 170 people arrived at the same place. So on November 21st, 1980, at night time, they come over our place where I live. They knocked the door, they said, go, you have to go now. So I have one long rubber band. I asked my daughter, my son, hold it with me. And my nephew carried the youngest daughter. And we ran on the dock to try to come to a little boat. But when I was on the boat, the little boat, to go to the big boat, one guy on the water yelled, so we heard it. And the boat is surrendered. Everyone died. So my boat, my people on my boat throw the string down to help that guy to come up to my boat. When I heard that, I have feeling. Maybe my daughter and my nephew over on that boat. But I still hope not. But when people get on the big boat, I yell horn so loud. I asked my nephew. No one answered. At that time, I think sure my nephew and my daughter was on that boat. So, at that time, I feel so regret about my decision to escape. Because of that, my decision made I lost my daughter and my nephew. I think if I don't have my children beside me, maybe I jump on the ocean to die with them. But I look at my daughter and my son. They're only 10 years old and 9 years old. And I know I have to take care of them. I cannot do the crazy thing. So I talked to my children. I said, don't worry. Your sister and your cousin, maybe they can make to the boat. Maybe they still run on they still run on the land. So maybe they go back. Don't worry. 3 days on the big boat. We land on the big boat. We arrive Indonesia in Kuku, đảo Kuku Island. A beautiful island. I remember I lie down on the tent. I look outside. The water looked like a diamond and so beautiful island. Even I very sad, but I still think that island is so beautiful. I stayed there for 1 month. After that, I go to Galang Island. For 1 month, I live like in the house because I think about my nephew and my daughter. But I still have to try to live a normal life with my children beside me. When I went to Galang for 1 month, one day, one boat, German boat, came to give the food for the people in the island. So I asked the people over there on the boat. I met one captain. I said, please go to Singapore. Telegram to my family. Ask for me how my children and my nephew doing. If they can come home. And on Christmas Day, the captain come back and give me one telegram. He said, I have present for you, but I don't know good news or bad news. I opened the telegram. The telegram said, my nephew and my daughter come back home safely. I'm so happy. And I want to yell. But after about few minutes, I think, oh, what if my family just lied to me in order to I can live with my children and don't be feel miserable. 1 month after, my brother, who lived in Australia, sent me a letter from Vietnam with the picture, my daughter and my nephew. At that time, I really too happy. And I enjoy the life in the island with my 2 kids and with the life just escape from the communists. I'm so happy. And I met many in the camp, many kids arrived there without father and mother. So I volunteer to take care of them because I feel so bad for them. So I take care of them. And after 4 months, I arrived in the United States on April 30, 1981.
What a fateful day.
That's the exact day. Yeah.
Where did you arrive?
The first, I stopped by Los Angeles, and after that, I arrived to Maryland because my sister, who was escaped before me 6 months, she was there. So
You came to Maryland
I came to Maryland. I live in Maryland
with your 2 children.
with 2 children, 10 years old and 9 years old.
And what did you do? How did you begin to make a life?
I began the first. I lived with my cousin who lived here since 1975 before us. So he let us live in one room with my sister, me, and my 2 kids in one room. Because the family have 5 good kids. My cousin have 5 kids, but they only have 3 bedrooms. So they give us 1 bedroom to live. And after my children go to school, I feel like I cannot depend on them. So I have to buy the car, I have to move out. So I buy the car $600. And always I have to stuck on the road, especially on the winter, in the winter time. So the number of the AAA, always I remember. I call the AAA all the time because my car is not good. So, but I'm still happy. I say, wow, we are lucky because we can make to America. And I met many nice people, Vietnamese and American. So I have many best friends there. So I went to the college, Montgomery College, to study, and I take care of the kids because I am single parents. The government help us. We try to live with that kind of money. Even on the weekend, I don't let my children go to work or help the people or something to make money when they grow up. At that time, they did not. Every weekend, we go to yard sale, we go to moving sale. Oh, it's so fun. We live with that kind of thing. We live like that.
What did you do about learning English? How did you do that?
Oh, when I went to college for a few months, so I'm not feeling well again, so I have to stop. So I don't even go to learn to English because I'm so busy to take care of my kid, and I'm so busy to go to the hospital, go to the doctor. So I didn't study English. That's why now, after many years in America, I still speak no good English. Besides, I love my language. I want my children keep my language. That's why I don't use English, even at home, because I want my children speak Vietnamese at home. That's why it's kills me for not to speak good English.
Your English is beautiful. So what did you do about work and making money? How did you manage?
Oh, I met one doctor. She's my family doctor. She's Chinese, and she knows my situation. She said, "Do you want to take care of my children so you can make a little bit money with the money the social service give you?" I said, "Okay, I don't mind. I love to do that because if I can make more money, I don't want to receive the help from the government." And she paid me enough money to have money to live, money to buy the insurance. So I cut off the help from the government. But on 1984, my cancer, I have another kind of cancer. So I talked to her. I said, "I cannot do this anymore because I have to get the
care?
I had to get the care from the help from the government because whenever I go to the hospital, Georgetown Hospital, I cannot have money to pay for deductible either. 20%. I said no, I have to stop. So she's so nice. She looked like my family. When I was in the hospital, have a surgery, she asked me how to cook pho. I talked to her, I asked her how to do this, to do that. I gave her a recipe to do pho. And next day, she and her husband and her kids came to visit me with the bowl of pho. And she stand there, she asked me, "You have to eat." I was not feeling to eat because very after surgery, very tired. So, but I see her, she stand there and she begged me to eat. So I try and try and try, and I finished a bowl of pho. And then I think that bowl of pho is make me remember the whole life. Because not just pho, but her love sent to me. One people, not in my family, not my sister, not my brother, but a stranger people. But she gave me one pho. So I remember that pho, that bowl of pho, forever.
How is it that your family came to Virginia?
Oh, I lived in Maryland for a long time. We lived in Maryland for 8 years. After 8 years, live in the apartment. My sister and I can bought one house, and we continue live in Maryland until my daughter graduated from medical school. And after that, she married. She buy a house in Virginia. She invited me and my sister come over to live with her. And right now, I live with my son-in-law, my daughter, and my 2 grandchildren in Virginia.
And so you have worked very hard to keep the connection with the community, the Vietnamese community. And you made this center, and you made this organization. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that's important?
Oh, I used to very proud about my culture. But I think right now I look back in my country and the people who live there and the government and everything happened in my country is no longer like it before. I think like the cultures like in my country like a river, but the river is
Polluted.
polluted. I ask myself, why we are here, we are not in the river. We just have a branch of the river in here. Why don't we keep my culture for my next generation in Vietnam and in here? Especially, I don't want the people in the world think Vietnamese people live without the culture. That's why very important for me to keep the Vietnamese culture. That's why I work very hard for that.
When you think about your grandchildren,
My grandchildren and other family, like other next generation, they live in the United States, the beautiful country and good country and freedom, have everything. But I wish they can keep a little bit my culture. Because to live with 2 cultures is good compared with 1. Why don't we we keep some good in Vietnamese culture. We get some good in American culture. I think that's great.
So that's why maybe when I go to Vietnamese events, I see 2 flags and 2 national anthems.
Yes. With me, America, not just America. I feel like that's my country too. Because now I have 2 countries, Vietnam and America. And I appreciate, and I'm very happy and very feel like lucky to have chance to live in America. I used to talk to my children. I said, we live in America. We have to do something for America because it is our country now. But we still have homeland. If you have chance, you think about our homeland too. Even you don't go back to Vietnam to live or to rebuild the country, but whenever you have chance, you think and you do something for our homeland. That's in my thing. And that's how I used to remind my children.
You've used the word freedom several times.
Yeah.
And when we talked before, you told me how important freedom is to you. Talk about freedom and what it means.
Oh, I think the people love to have freedom. Every people have to love to have freedom. Because freedom makes you can do everything you want to do. You cannot live if you cannot be happy if you have to be controlled by the government, by other people. You have to do whatever you want to do. That's you happy, makes you freedom. That's why I'm very concerned about my country right now. My people over there right now, they don't have freedom. Everything, they have to be controlled by the government. And even the government do the bad thing. They don't have chance. They don't have power to change. I think that's very bad.
Talk about a little bit about your books. You've written some books.
Oh,
I'd like to know about that.
I'm the one who loved to read the books since I was a kid. I read many books, but I never think about I write the book. Suddenly, in 1975, and one magazine, my friend to publish that magazine, he asked me, can you write for me the story? I said, I never write it. You try. I said, okay. I went home and I write one short story. And after published that magazine with my story over there, my friends and many people I know call me, oh, you write a good story. So I said, really? You said true? Or you just make me glad? You just make me happy? I said, no, good. I said, okay. I write write some more. So after 2 months, I stay home. I write 12 short stories. I finished 12 short stories. So my friends come from Texas. She read it. She said, "Oh, we have to publish it. Good, good, good." So I said, "Okay." And then I saved the money because no people public for me, so I have to save the money to pay for the printings and things. So after I published the first book, so many people look like enjoy it, and now I don't have any copy anymore. Maybe one. I have one. My children, 3 of them, each of them have one. So after that, beside the time, I work with the community's program. I write the book at night time. So right now I publish 5 books. Yeah.
You sent me a story one time about a young woman, and her father, a military father. Do you remember this? And I wanted to know if that was about your life and your father. And the father was killed in the story. Was that your story or not?
No, I don't forget.
Okay, that's okay. Well, then
I just send you a story about the general
that's the one.
killed himself
Yes.
on the days Saigon Ford.
Was that a true story?
No, I imagination. but the general, I talk about general. He suicide. It's true, but not a real story. But a little bit true, a little bit.
Artistic license.
Yeah.
Pat, you want to ask?
I have a quick question. You mentioned, and I'm going to ask the question, but answer to David.
Look at me as a-
Yeah, wait, but I'll ask you.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's important that your children and grandchildren remember the culture of Vietnam, and I was wondering why that is important to have a strong Vietnamese culture as well as an American culture.
Good.
I think I told you before. Right now, the Vietnam culture is very bad. It not look like the Vietnamese people now. It's not look like the Vietnamese culture. If you go to Vietnam now, I wish you not feel like this is the Vietnamese culture, because it's no good, no look like before. So that's why I think the people, Vietnamese people who live outside the country, have to keep our real culture. That's why I think that's most important. I don't work for the charity much, because in Vietnam, the people who need help a lot, and you cannot do anything help them enough. Why the government have to do that thing, but the government didn't do it, and they just put the money in the pocket, and they don't help the people. as I told you before, with me, keep the Vietnamese culture is most important. That's why sometimes I see in the website, in the clip, in the news, I see many people live very poor in Vietnam, and the kids go to school, have a walk on the water, on the river, through the river, go to the school with a very bad way. Like, I feel very sorry. And as in the many people, sick people, I feel bad too. But I cannot do anything. I feel very sorry, but I cannot do anything. The charity is very, very important too. But with me, keep the Vietnamese culture is more important. That's why I try to do the most. I don't do much. I cannot do any much thing, but that's it. In my mind, I wish I can do more thing about that.
When you think about the soul of Vietnam, the soul of Vietnamese culture, what do you think about? What speaks Vietnam to you? Is it dress? Is it music? Is it dance? Is it food? Can you say a little bit about that?
I think the culture includes many things, like speaking Vietnamese, eat Vietnamese food, live with the life like the people before. We have the way to live nicely and friendly and honesty. And many good thing we have in my culture. We cannot say exactly what thing like that, what thing like that. But I think the way we lived before is good. We have to keep. But now it's not good. That's why we have to keep my own culture.
Tell me about your children and their lives. What are they doing? You said one was a medical doctor?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
My oldest daughter is a doctor, and my son is a lawyer. And my youngest daughter, who arrived later after 8 years, she's work like a business.
And how about your nephew? Is he here?
My nephew have a master degree of computer, because after 10 years, he go back to Vietnam after escape. I sponsor him here to go to school, to go to college. Yeah.
So if you had stayed in Vietnam, what do you think would have happened to your family?
Oh, we didn't know that. We didn't know what happened with us, but I think with my way to live, I think it's okay. Because after 1975, when communists came, I was afraid to have to leave the Saigon to go to the
New
the
economic
new
zone.
economic zone. I was afraid that. I take the test to go to the
A college education. Yeah.
I take the test to go to the college education. It's funny thing is, I graduated from the communist college. And I have to teach high school about history and about the things the communists too.
The communist doctrine.
Yeah. Nghĩa là lịch sử và văn hóa cái của cộng sản. Yeah. It's funny. Whenever I remember when I was on the class, I talk the way I have to. After that, I come home and say, wow, today I look like communist.
You sounded like.
I sound like communist. But I met some people, some communist people, some people who is a teacher with me. They are nice. They understand about situation. Even when I try to escape, I can talk to them. I say, wow, maybe I go soon. I say, okay, if you go, you send me gift. Yeah, because some people, they understand it.
What was the hardest thing about adjusting to your new life here in the United States? Was it the language piece? Was it the money piece? What was the hardest thing?
I think I adjust with the life in America is easy because I live very simple. Even when I'm sick, I don't have money. Take the money from the government give for the single parents, single family. I think I still can handle it. I told you, I go to the yard sale, I buy the cheap thing, but I still enjoy it.
But what was the hardest thing for you?
You had to make a new life here. It wasn't easy. What were the hard things that you had to overcome?
The hard thing is to take care of the two kids with my sickness. Because I take care of the kids very carefully. Whenever they come home, I have to look in the homework. Even I don't understand much, but I remind them have to do the homework. I have to take them go to the library, go to their friend's house to have fun. I have to spend any time for them, but in the time I have sickness. That's why hard situation. Sometimes I cannot do it. And I take them go to the music class. They took piano lesson every week. And it's funny is when I came here about less than one year, I saved $3,000. I have $3,000. So I bought for my children one Bonneville piano, $2,000. And my friends come over and say, wow, how can you do that? You have to keep your money. I said, I want to continue to do whatever we do in Vietnam, because in Vietnam they took piano lesson too. And I have 1,000 left. I put deposit to rent the apartment, $600. And one thing is so funny, the government gave me the place to live. I went there to visit. I look around the area. I see, all the junk car. That's mean many people, poor people who live in here. why I'm poor as one. But I still think, oh, maybe they're busy, they don't have time to take care of the kids. So maybe the kids are no good. So I don't want my kids to go to live to that area. So I went to rent the apartment. But some area, one apartment, just about 300 or 350. But I think, wow, the other area, schooling look good. And the people over there look like a nice neighborhood. I go that area to rent the apartment for $550. You know what I do? I share for one friend. Just $100 to sleep in the sofa because she live in she goes to work every time. She just go home. She not part of everything. She just pay $100 1 month. I shared it, so I can live in the good area for my children.
When we were talking earlier, you were talking about spending time with your family instead of earning more money, that you want them to not work on weekends so that you can have time together. Would you say all that again? Would you say that? Because I think people like to hear that.
Oh, with me, the children should have a time for the parents, a limit of time when they're young. When they're older, they don't want to hang around with parents. That's why I want to spend time with my children. Besides, if they hang around me, so I can help them, I can teach them the way I live, and I will have an influence with them. If I just let them go to work and have money, they have their own way. They live their own way. If lucky, they are good. If not lucky, they're bad. That's why I think the time the parents spend with the children while they were the kid until 14 years old, very important. And I think that their character shaped at that time.
What I would like to ask you to do is tell us some things that you would like us to know about your story, but say it in Vietnamese so you're totally comfortable. And maybe stop so let Antu translate and then say some more. Whatever you want to say. You know, you came today wanting to tell some things that I'm sure I haven't asked you yet. So let's speak in Vietnamese and tell us what we should know about you and your story.
It's hard to say.
Okay.
I just want to know that I feel like very lucky to arrive here, to live in the United States. And I hope many people who live in the United States, who came from other countries, have to appreciate what they have in here. Sometimes they live the normal life. They forget about that. They forget about their life in their country. I heard many people, they have good life, but they kept complain about that. That's it. Remember, how you live in your country. Don't do that. And you have to do something for this country too, because it is your country, not a strange country, because you live here long enough and you receive many things from the country. That's the way I think.
Pat, have we forgotten anything?
I don't think we've read anything, unless there's anything.
I think that's a beautiful place to stop.
Yeah. Unless there's anything that we haven't touched on that you would like to add. I think we have something.
And
Có
I,
điều
and I,
gì khác mà cô muốn nói không?
and I just wanted you to give you an opportunity to speak to me in Vietnamese, because I would love to hear it.
Bất cứ điều gì cô muốn chia sẻ.
Anyway.
She thinks it's
I
enough.
think I don't
Okay.
talk enough.
Okay.
I used to not talk too much. I am the one to do it. I don't want to talk.
She's action.
I know.
Like I take care of my children. I do everything the best, even when they were kids, even the snack thing, even everything. But I'm not used to every day say, hold them and I love you, I love you. I'm not the way like that. Yeah.
Well then, is the camera still on, Pat? Okay, just before we end, tell me about the Vietnamese Literary and Artistic Club and the Cultural Center. Just tell me how that came to be.
Oh, this organization was founded on 2000 by some writer and first we just think about book, but after that, I think we're not just sit here and write a book and publish the book, because of the kids, the children, and next generation, they don't study, they don't read the book, and they don't care about the book. So we put the organization some more activity for the kids. And that way we can connect with the young generation. We used to handle many shows for the students, for the kids performing, like dancing, singing, and they have fun. And we do some feed the homeless for the people in DC, in shelter. That way, the kids know how to share with the
Other people.
unlucky people, and they know they have to do that. I want they have a good heart, not just make a degree and make money for themselves. That's why I do. Like today, we have a party at 12 o'clock in the senior citizen close by here, and they will provide the food, and they ask the people to come to do some music or singing for the senior citizen. And we do that many times, especially some like in New Year's or Christmas time. We do that.
Was that a well-timed?
That was.
Okay.
That was, yeah.
I think this is wonderful. And I so much appreciate what you said and what you told us. And I think Pat would like to take some photographs.
Yeah.
And are we ready for that?
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was a great
Thank
interview.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we did it all in English,
Yeah.
except for a couple of words.
All right.
Please let